Get a Festool, oh, but they're really expensive. Yeah, but you're paying for the quality. Yeah, but there's cheaper alternatives. Yeah, but you go cheap, you pay twice. Oh, but I've got to sell a kidney. But you can live with just one kidney. Okay, I'll do it. Absolute sack of shit. Hello everybody, hope you're well. That's not quite fair on Festool, there's a bit more to that. But I did expect more, and I'll explain more a little bit later on. So let's go back to the tried and tested tool that requires no batteries and has never let me down. Let's build the porch. Rightio, we're up to, well, that height. Couldn't film doing this side because the best angle to do so would be from next to a neighbour's garden, which obviously I'm not going to do. So there we are, we're up to lintel height. Now this is where I've made a rod for my own back, because as you can see the existing house has got this concrete lintel that's cast in situ, so all the bearing is on the internal skin. So from the external, it looks like it's just floating. Well, obviously it isn't. And on previous videos of this series, I've emulated that by putting a normal cavity lintel in and then putting a concrete lintel on fake, basically, just to mimic that, so it marries up. Well, now I've got to do the same here, haven't I? Except there's no cavity, so I can't get a normal cavity lintel. But what you can get, for those of you who don't know, are these L-shaped lintels, called for obvious reasons, that are designed for putting windows in, whatever, replacing lintels with houses that have no cavities. So I'm going to plonk that on. That's a 1200, it's a 900 door, and then do exactly the same as I've done on that video over there, which I'll put on screen now and link to the description, blah blah blah, sort of playlist. And then, yeah, and then put a lintel on, like so, to mimic it. So when all this roof goes on, that lintel will match that one, which will match that one, and it'll all be married up. Lovely. Is it worth it? Who knows? Who cares? But it's going to be done. So there we have it. Once that's done, carry on up here and do exactly the same on this little window on this side. And just so you know, Mickey's doing his best Wicked Witch of the West impression and melting, ain't you, Mick? Look at his face. Jeez. He's also experimenting with how much weight I can take. Yeah, he's in the closet ginge. Right then, let's get that sorted. Right, just in the process of doing this, got a concrete lintel cut, just about to put it on. And I thought to myself, if I'm going to emulate this so it all matches, I may as well do it so it's all on the same level and don't put this one course higher. So yeah, I'll change that. There's a few reasons why I've decided to get all my mortar from this place and not mix any of it myself. Ease, convenience, all that kind of thing, blah blah blah. But another reason is that look how well it matches in, knowing full well that you're having exactly the same mix over and over again. This was built months ago, well, a couple of months ago I reckon, as was the bottom of this and all that. Yesterday afternoon and today. It just marries in just really well, doesn't it? Because if you have a little job like this and you have to leave it and then I'll pick some sand up on the way and maybe you go to a different place, it's slightly different, or the cement's from a different manufacturer, it cause you issues, but no, not here. There we go. There you get it, don't you? You get it now, don't you? That, same as that, will be the same as that. And this here will be the same as all three of them. I'll just need 20 more bricks, I reckon, to finish off. I'll go and get them in the morning and then we'll get this boxed off. I'm a little bit gutted, a little bit gutted. I'll turn you around, I'll show you why. I've gone on about it in previous videos in this series, how the existing brickwork is so far out of gauge, and I've really struggled to keep it in line with it so it all looks all right, where the new meets the existing, keep it all courses. I've had some tight beds, some massive beds. Well, that being said, I started the far corner on this porch, carried it round, followed the course of the house, got into this corner here, and as you can see, the lintels have not married up. There's about 30mm difference. It's 30mm out of gauge from that corner to here. It's all over the place. It looks all right from afar, the house, but oh man, it's just all over the place. I could have, maybe should have gauged down from that one and just kept to that, but then it wouldn't have married up in this corner, and I felt that was important. The front, oh, I don't know, man, can't be right for doing wrong when it's like that. But it's an effort. It'll still look right. It'll still look right when it's all done. Oh, don't know. As I say, gutted. But the good news though, that window is coming tomorrow, which will free up the wall behind it to plasterboard. So hopefully we'll be able to jump on that tomorrow afternoon. Going back to the mortar that we were using before, and I said how handy it is to use that sort of thing. Well, the downside is if you've got a little bit to do, or you only need a little bit like I did this morning just to finish that off, what you do with the rest of it? Well, you need a plan B, and this plan B is this retaining wall down here. So we've just finished off the mortar from a full tub, just to get this in. We'll go into this a little bit, a bit more detail in future videos. I think it was just a case of okaying it with the customer. Do you want us to do this? Just use that mortar up, as I say, and they agreed to it. Obviously, it's got to retain that land there. Let's get some steps over the far side. There's going to be a patio coming out. Unsure just yet at the height of the patio whether they want it to come straight underneath the sill or they want to step down onto it. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, all will be explained. Maybe I'll know a little bit more by the end of this video, but definitely future ones will go into this. So then in that respect, we shall wait for tomorrow, get that window in, and then we can do all the plasterboarding that's needed, which will finish it all off very nearly. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get a plasterer. Well, it's 2 days later, and my mate Anthony has come through yet again. Isn't that beautiful? Now you might think, well, it's just a window. Well, yeah, it is. But look what it's done to the inside. Well, you won't be developing many photographs in here. Look how much light that lets through. On a fairly cloudy evening, it's about 5:30. It's lovely, isn't it? Didn't record putting the plasterboard on. There's been far too much of that on this series of videos as it is. So if you like that sort of thing, you can go back and watch them. But from this point on, no more. Been around the bottoms, the gaps at the bottom, and just filled those in just for the skirting to fix onto all the way around. And I've even, on the rooms that I can do, done the beading. So yeah, there's not a fat lot more now I can do other than to pray to the plastering gods and hope that they send me a troweled angel, maybe even more than one. Who knows? I'm sure they will. Wheels are in motion with that. This is a very difficult time of year with school holidays and people going away and whatnot, and basically wanting to spend a bit of time with their family and not in a place like this. And who can blame them? In fact, I quite admire it. To that end, I'm going to be doing a little bit of that myself. I'll explain more in a second, but I will explain fully now my Festool drywall gripe. An extremely expensive piece of kit this is. I've had a good few years, full disclosure, maybe even 5 or 6, but as you'll know, I only use it at this stage of a job. I'm not a full-time plasterer. I don't use it day in, day out, and it's been looked after. And I reckon, I've been trying to work it out, I reckon that's had around about 16 weeks of work, maybe, in those years. Yeah, it's broke. Forward drive no longer works. I can go backwards Reverse is fine. Forwards, no good, a bit like myself. So yeah, if I wanted to go out and buy a new one now from the same place I got that from, £669.99. I'll be able to get it cheaper, I'm sure, but still, it's a lot of money, isn't it? So I expect it better. I have to get it repaired, of course I can, whatever. Anyway, still annoying. Right, we'll end that frustrating week there. And yeah, I'm going to spend a bit of time with my family. I am going to have a bit of time off from here. I'm going to stop the videos for a little bit because I need a bit of progress here. I don't want these videos to become just stagnant and basically not moving on from where we are now. So I need a bit of time to do that. So set your diaries, set your alarms for the 14th of September. I'm going to have off until then for the main videos. Hopefully, you'll never know. I might get one out before that if I can get something exciting done. If not, that's when I will be back. And hopefully I'll have a little video, you know, in the back pocket to get back to that one a week. We shall see. Anyway, until then, enjoy the rest of your holidays. See you soon.